Hi, it's Susan, and I thought it would be fun to just maybe do a little recap on Aries full moon. So the first part of the week started off with a lot of, oh, let's see what will happen, and then the outcome occurred. I also had old patterns that came up in regards to wanting to connect stories and judgments and things like that. So I really had to take some personal time and really make sure that I took the time to do my due diligence to ensure that those patterns did not have a place to repeat themselves. And then by yesterday, which would have been the 28th of September, is when everything in the entire baseline of my existence felt like it had gone on tilt. And the tilt was so intense that that for me, all I could do to feel like I wasn't literally tilting over the edge of insanity was to go into my practices, which I'm going to share with you today. And I want to just put a preface on here that if I share a practice, it does not mean this practice is the way you should do it. It's the only way. You may already have a practice. Honor your practice. This may just be an opportunity to be reminded that practice is very helpful in those times. But a style of practice, it's so different for every one of us, and it's so different based on how we were made to sparkle and how our soul's path is lined up to create expansion, possibility, and freedom. So please take the road that's best suited for you, and just know that I only do these videos to stand as a reflection of someone that's going through the journey, as well with the desired focus in spirituality, but more through expansion of spirituality, if you want to use spirituality in those terms, but just from the light that is within me. Am I getting too wordy? Anywho. Okay. So this brink of the edge yesterday, of feeling like I'm going on the verge of possibly an insane asylum. In addition, the molecules in my body were moving around so quickly that to walk, my equilibrium and my ability to not feel like everything was turning into dark, like blackness, was huge. And it was the first time that that I wanted to bring someone in to help me through the process. And that hasn't happened in a really long time, so you can only imagine how my foundation was being rocked. Now, I've spoken to people that do not have their own practice and aren't really on the ride for self-awareness, and that's not their thing. But ironically, they were sharing with me that they were having the same experience. And so I don't know if it's a common thing that's going on, that went on yesterday. I had heard some progress reports, which I'll put down below, that did speak about how the foundation of things is being reformatted. That may have something to do with it, I'm not sure. All I can tell you is that thank God for me, I have a practice, and thank God for me, I was able to do two things that really were practice worthy for me. The latest one this week that I got was this feeling to create a home inside my body that's filled with love, reassurance, and make it my most conscious approach to myself. So when anything, because earlier in the week I had this pattern of wanting to come up and wanting to create a story and a judgment. And what I heard within my spirit on a new practice I could do to unwind that experience was to take my focus off of my outer world and start remembering how to generate inside my inner world the stories I tell myself, the conversations that are being acknowledged within myself, that this home that was given to me by Creator to house my beautiful spirit is it's been made with so much love and so much light. And that was my mantra all day yesterday. And in addition to that, I went in and I have a practice. I was able to create a vortex of peace, and my light family assisted with that. And I did put the requirements that only my light family of the highest light were welcome at the time, and that and only if they love me unconditionally. So it really set up for me a parameter of unconditional love and unconditional support. And as I tapped further into that world internally, it separated out that anxiety feeling, and it brought back in peace and balance. And by last night, I was laughing and being silly again. So really great. That was a really great way for me to regain myself. But I will tell you, I never felt the way I did last night or yesterday day. I can't. Like it was coming from all aspects. It was intense, and I thought it was cool to kind of share that with all of you as a way to, maybe you were going through that, maybe you may be going through it, or this video may be for someone at a different time factor, or just maybe for myself. But I did feel called to share this video with all of you, and to really put care and compassion into sharing my story, so it could maybe reach one heart out there that may have also felt that way as well, and maybe still feeling that way. I just want you to know I'm happy to be this reflection, and I really appreciate the time that you take to listen. And I hope this message finds you well. I don't have anything more to say at this point. I think I've shared it all. I've spilled the beans. So I send you off to an amazing day and wish you well. Till the next time.